Hello and welcome to our fourth and final episode of Fix Your Franchise series here at Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover, and we have saved the best till last. We've had the Dallas Cowboys in, we have the Ravens, we have the 49ers, the playoff team, and now we've got Super Bowl runners-up, sadly. We've got Foz from the Couch Scouts. Foz, New England fan, QB guru. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yeah, New England guy, born and raised, still live in the Boston area. You know, it's in our blood.
I'll try and go the entire podcast without saying Massel then, right?
Hey, it's a term of endearment. We love it, you know. So anytime you want, we love
it. Fantastic. So obviously last year, huge success. Ultimate, lose the last game of the season, but what a second year for Drake May, first year for Mike Vrabel. Arrows pointing up, but plenty of work to do as well. So I think New England going to be a really interesting ending to our Fix Your Franchise series. Plenty of cap room, 56.9 million as we stand. And again, we're doing this on sticktothemodel.com, really cool website that I would recommend people go check out. It does have some smart suggestions for us here. We can kind of run through off the bat, and then we'll get to anything that catches your eye more in particular. So it's recommending some cuts here. Again, we don't have to do them. This is just, I'm guessing other people have made them as a New England GM. So you'll be taking...
Oh, yeah.
What's the New England Patriots GM's called?
Elliot Wolf.
Elliot Wolf. Eli Wolf, and it couldn't stick in my head. Elliot. So you are Elliot Wolf today. I'll try and do Mike Vrabel. I won't be cutting anything off, though, to make sure we have a good draft. Let me tell you.
We didn't win the Super Bowl, so you're not under any obligation.
Oh yeah, saved half. Anyway, cool. So our cut candidates. Where are we going with these ones?
Yes, I was looking through these. Obviously, Diggs was the obvious one that I was going to do. He save a boatload of cap space. It was like 22 million post June 1st. They had to steal my thunder this afternoon by doing it before I came on the show. That was going to be my big we're cutting Diggs. That was going to be the hot take that gets all the views, and they preempted me. Elliot Wolf, one step ahead of the fake Elliot Wolf over here with the mic.
Yeah.
But no, I want to cut Garrett Bradbury. He just really underperformed. 5.3 million cap it. You can that's a decent chunk of change. Jared Wilson was drafted to be a center anyway in the later rounds, and he was starting left guard. And he struggled left guard. So I think playing out of position is not ideal for him. So moving back to center, or at least make him compete with Ben Brown, who's also on the roster, kind of like a backup center, who's more of like a road grader, run guy, like tough guy type tackle, not really a finesse, tough guy type old lineman, not a finesse guy. So let them two kind of battle it out for those center guard spots, and then we'll bring in some other help in the interior offensive line. But Bradbury, I think, has to go with, if you're going to have a veteran with a, decent cap number, he's got to play better. And I think it's a 1 year just to kind of right the ship, because the offensive line was a disaster in 2024. We got the Super Bowl and he was okay. But I think we can do a lot better.
Absolutely.
All right. Another guy I have here cutting is Anthony Jennings, rotational edge player. He's like a long time Belichick holdover. That might even be his second contract, not even his first contract. So again, rotational guy, he's just okay. He's an okay rotational guy. But again, if you're trying to get younger here in some places, they spent a ton of free agency last year, so getting younger should be priority with some of this cap space. And Jennings is a guy we can probably improve on in terms of age and production there.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to lean on you here because I think you're more tuned into college football than I am. It's a strong linebacker class as well, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I'm not really. Defensively, I'm probably not as tuned in as I am with coming the the positional guys, just because of what I do with Couch Scouts with the QBs and plugged in so much in the dynasty and Devy circles. But I was trying to look through some of the defensive guys, and there are a few edge guys that I think will be useful in terms of depth. I've been trying to do look at some of the mid-round guys, and there are definitely some in the draft where you could see a Harold Perkins from LSU. He's a good guy that I see going the middle rounds. That would be a nice little outside linebacker, inside linebacker tweener type player. So I think there'll be avenues where they can add depth, and also free agency. There's a lot of top end free agents, a lot of top end free agents in the NFL, where you could really improve on that.
Cool. Are we keeping everyone else around?
I'm cutting. There's some other lower level ones. Once you cut those guys, I think some more should come up. Excuse me.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're more experienced in this tool than I am at this point.
Yeah, I was getting some reps in preparation, and just like out of fascination, the site's great. Like, I was doing some for the Vikings, doing some for the Chiefs, like, figuring, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, we're cutting Marte Mapu, who's like he's kind of more of a special teamer, but like he's like a positionless type player. Like he's too small to play linebacker, but too big to play safety. Made a nice play against the Dolphins in Miami by picking off 2 at the end of the game, but we can do better than that. I'm also cutting Muma, who's like kind of similar, but we're gonna have kind of a logjam at linebacker. So I think cutting both and then like going after like maybe one or getting younger again at linebacker will be important. With Spillane's on the team. He's old. He's like was probably the most productive linebacker, but he's getting up there in age. And then Christian Ellis took a huge step at linebacker this year. He was kind of dreadful like for a long time, and then this year he was all over the place. It was great. And Jack Gibbons is the other middle linebacker who's played well, but we need to improve. Like we need to like better depth, I think, because when Spillane was hurt, it was kind of a disaster at the end of the year. And then Eli Mitchell, like 1.2 cap it, like easy money. I don't even think he ever saw the field.
Today I learned Eli Mitchell was on the New England Patriots.
I knew
he was in Kansas.
Yeah, he was. And they picked him off of the scrap heap when Stevenson was out for a while, but he never ended up being elevated.
Yeah, literally brand new news to me, that one. I was literally wondering if that is Eli Mitchell. It didn't even have his position listed, so that kind of speaks to the impact he made.
Yeah.
In New England.
And Barringer. Cut the punter. He stinks.
Does he? I don't know much of him. I remember it was really hyped, I think, in the draft that year. And yeah, obviously it hasn't worked out. Cool. And you could always get a punter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be disparaging of punters too much, but in case any are listening, but I think you're pretty replaceable punters.
Yeah, for what he's doing, like you can find, you might as well try to find someone better, right? Like it's hard to do anything worse. Like, the Denver AFC title game was all about field position. And, Denver's punter is really good. He's like an elite punter, but like Barringer wasn't even close. Like the field position was so bad every time for them, or so good for Denver, bad for the Patriots defense.
Yeah. And then again in the Super Bowl, not wanting to go too much on it, but whose name I've also Michael Dixon also had an incredible Super Bowl. I mean, some people were talking about him MVP, which I thought was a little much, but it is a really valuable position if you can hit it, but if you can't, churn it.
Yeah, right. There you go. There's more punter talk on a podcast than you'll ever get for
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the most we've done in 3 years. Restructure candidates. Any of these want to restructure, get some more cap room? I've got Carl Davis, Christian Barmore, and Milton Williams.
Yeah, I'd leave Williams alone, and then Barmore and Davis definitely get restructured. I think the other ones I was looking at doing were Spillane and Mondre and Victor Moses and Harold Landry. Like all those guys have deals that they're kind of like playing under their deals a bit, or maybe they're up there in age, and we can save some money moving forward and give them money in the short term with the restructures.
So we had Ramondre.
Yeah.
We had Navoidja 2 years.
Nah, no void years. One of the other things, the Crafts are if we want to add a little bit of realism here, Robert Kraft doesn't really like to pay his he doesn't like to pay like cash. Like he's not a big cash owner. The Patriots are always at the bottom, so like he's never gonna be like a void year guy where he adds on all this cash that people are gonna get for no play. Like that's not his style.
Jeffrey Lurie approach, right?
Yeah.
How the Eagles so good all the time. They just pump loads of money into the future and just pay it off because they want to. Yeah, the Patriots have to be a little more crafty, if you'll pardon the terrible pun, but it's there, it's out there. So I've done Spillane, I've done Moses, I've done Stevenson. Did you say somebody else?
Harold Landry. Did we do Harold
Landry? Yeah, he was up here. I just forgot about him.
Yeah,
Harold Landry. Restructure. Oh, cool. So we've got now 96 million in cap room. We could even get Daniel Jones. I mean, we'll get that when we have to, but I don't think we want to go for Danny Dimes.
No, we'll keep Drake May. We're fine with him, I think. I think we're all right.
Yeah, he did okay, right?
Yeah. One more cap thing I had that I was playing around with. Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
He's I think he's eligible to be extended early now.
He is, yeah.
So I think the Patriots, if I was Elliott Wolf, like the smart thing to do would be to get ahead of his market and not let him play another year and either earn himself more money in a higher cap hit, or he does like the Sauce Gardner thing and makes business decisions of her an entire year.
Yep.
And then you still have to pay him. So just pay him now, get it out of the way, and then because next year is when you're gonna have to do the same thing with Drake May, and he's gonna get the highest QB contract of all time, right? So you have to be early with this and lock him up now, front load the contract so you pay him more this year, and then you do the same thing with May in 2027, and then you're set up pretty well.
4 years, 18.2 mil. Sound reasonable enough?
Great. Oh yeah, sounds great to me. Not my money.
Perfect. It's a 4 million cap hit on this year. So again, I think we're pretty fine there. And I couldn't agree more. I've seen some rumors of like maybe they should trade Christian Gonzalez at his high peak. It's like Christian Gonzalez is so legit. Like, he went so long unbeaten last year. He's been great since the end of the league. I think you'd be talking king's ransom to be considering trading him, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, totally. I think
a lot of it comes free as well, which
so young, and I think a lot of it comes from a place of like I think fans are afraid they won't, and so like if they're not gonna, they might as well. But if it's up to me, like you don't really have, and going through this whole process a few times, you don't really have a lot of guys other than Drake May that are gonna need to have like gigantic contracts. Like there's no like marquee wide receiver or marquee running back like you have on all these other teams that you have to make decisions on, or like even like like a Roquan Smith like linebacker that's going to be like the top linebacker, right? So it's really just him and then like Drake May next year, and like everything else is like just kind of paying for like mid-level talent at this point, and then in a few years it'll be Will Campbell up, I bet, and we'll do it again, and even then you're still fine. So
and the hope is that you're paying you great young players.
Right. Like,
it's a great problem to have. You just need to be proactive, like you're doing. Like I'm sure Elliott Wolf is going to be. And again, as a Cowboys fan, what we never get, every year it's a saga, every year it's an overpay because we've waited till 3 different players have reset the market at every position. And we're probably going to see it with Brandon Aubrey, it feels like at this point, which is incredibly Dallas coded. Can't even get through a kicker extension without a drama. But we're not here to talk Cowboys, my apologies. So should we move on to the next section? I think we've restructured everyone we're going to. I don't think there's anybody we need to extend at this point who's an upcoming free agent. I think New England, set us a pretty good deck here. So what we have is trades. Washington offering Marshall. I'm going to decline this on your behalf because that's insulting.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Picks. I don't think you gave up pick 263 for Marshall Lattimore because they are literally cutting him. Ramondre for pick 94 to Denver. I mean, we've just restructured him.
Yeah, it's good value, but like no, like it's not like in the like if you're doing the plan for the team, like you need Mondre on the team, like even up to value.
Jalen Ramsey for pick.
No.
Dexter Lawrence for pick 63.
That's tough. If that wasn't a strength of the team, like that interior defensive line, like I would say, yeah, but
that's a great point. Yeah, we've just restructured Barmore. Milton Williams had a great first year in New England. Trey Tucker, again, that feels like an easy decline. I know it's not much in value, but he's such a great when he hits, but I feel you can kind of get that production from Kyle Williams.
That's the hope, at least, right? Like, you hope he has a big year. He made some nice plays,
Yeah, he was really going just, maybe not enough room for him, but hopefully an improvement this year. I really liked him coming out, so fingers crossed. Garrett Williams, another corner, a couple of mid picks.
No, I think corner is another one where they're probably that's something you should add some like draft depth with. Like, it's pretty solid with Gonzo and Davis right now.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, to get younger, I don't think it's a smart use of things here. You've got Tyson Campbell for 63, Trenton Simpson for 95, 170. Again, not much given up, but I'm not sure how much you're improving your team either. We do need linebackers, but these feel like no's, right?
Yeah, those are all no's.
Cool. Anything you want to try and build out? A Marquise trade, maybe AJ Brown or
So it's interesting enough. There's been rumors about DJ Moore. Recently, and I feel like I'm not a big fan of DJ Moore. Like he definitely seems to be someone that's regressing. But the free agent wide receivers aren't really great, and where the Patriots are in the draft, I don't expect them to be able to get a true difference maker at wide receiver. So I feel like seeing like what the DJ Moore costs, like kicking the tires on it at least, is probably good business, especially someone who his cap is probably not going to be huge. I think it's like 12 million to the team that gets him or something around there.
Yeah, it says plus 15 on here, but
okay,
to make it a little.
Yeah,
I think looking at what they've got as a value, I think we'd be looking at a second rounder. I think so. I'm not even sure if they'd accept it looking at the bars here.
Yeah, give it a try. See if 1 second rounder for DJ Moore. See if that's significant. Yeah, no. I'm not going to overpay for him.
But, first rounder. I think the Bears would do that in real life, but there's parameters built into the site here that they go by, and DJ Moore is a no-go at a second round pick, which again surprises me because they also have minus $6.5 million in cap space. I didn't realize, and New England have a ton of it. It says 40. We actually have 92. So, anybody else would like to take a swing at, or should we just move on to free agency itself?
Yeah, let's move on. I know there's a lot of talk about like AJ Brown, but it's gonna be so expensive, and then Max Crosby too. But I think they really are better off like trying to just kind of build with what they have and go through that. Like, you hope Kayshon Boutte takes another step or Kyle Williams takes a little step, and then like maybe one of the you draft another wide receiver. Hopefully they pan out, and we go from there.
And you never know what you can do like at the trade deadline as well if you're in good position, because your DJ Moores, maybe AJ Brown as well, will be a lot cheaper mid-season than they are right before a draft. So I think that's just kind of the way you go.
Yeah, totally.
So we've got our RFA tenders here. Jack Gibbons is the only one they're recommending tendering at the lowest thing, which is $3.5 million. It's nice to see Tommy DeVito's name again. I forgot he was a Patriot, but it's always good to see his name in the league. Any of these want to tender? And do you want to leave the restricted rights on Jack Gibbons?
Yeah, the 3.5 for Jack Gibbons is good. Like he flashed a little bit. Like he's definitely going to be an NFL player, and so 3.5 to like either 3.5 to keep him will be good. And then the rest of them you can just kind of leave them alone.
See you later, guys. Tommy, we will see you somewhere else next year, I'm sure. Maybe in a commercial, maybe on an NFL field, but it'll be somewhere. So the first part is our pending free agents. So we've got Chizon from the edge. I think he might be like the only starter here. Austin Hoop, obviously a depth piece. Do you want to try and re-sign Chizon?
No, I'm going to let him walk. I think the bidding war for him is going to be too much. Like when it comes up, he had most of his production was like at the end of the year and like in the playoffs. And that's kind of
it gets attention.
Right?
Yeah, it gets attention, but it doesn't really indicate you're going to be a contributor necessarily.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the guy that's schedule enough, but like. Houston's tackles were in bad shape. Chargers line was in bad shape, and so I don't know. I think it'd be better to let him walk, like in terms of value.
Makes a ton of sense to me.
With a different free agent. Hooper, I'm also letting walk too. I think they need to get more dynamic at tight end. I'm not a big fan of Hunter Henry. And Hooper's like
he's productive, but like he's not. He doesn't flash.
No, and the thing that gets me too is like if you're not going to be like an X factor in the passing game, like you have to be able to block when you're out there too.
Yeah.
And neither of them are really great at blocking. Hooper's better than Henry, but he can't be on the field like all the time because he's not as good as pass catcher. But Henry's not really dynamic. He just is kind of like a catch the ball, like when it's thrown to him and fall down type guy. So we're gonna try to get more dynamic at tight end with these two guys. So the only people I'm really looking into re-signing, Jalen Hawkins, the safety, who was a new guy they brought in this year, and he played really well. He had his moments where he kind of got lost in coverage back there, but him and Craig Woodson, who was the other safety they brought in this year, they played well together. They played well throughout the whole season, got better as the season went on. So he's a guy I feel like you reward just because like you brought him in, and he ended up doing well. I think he's going to cost a little more than this 4.3. And he is 29, so maybe not more than 2 years. But if you give him like $5 million for 2 years, like 5.1's fine, and front load it, just like maybe a little more here, and bring him back and keep that continuity in the back end, which is so important in the secondary to have guys that like play together and know what each other are doing.
Absolutely, yes. You see how much defenses decimate year on year when they lose the talent. Not just the name players, but that continuity is really important. Yeah.
Yep. And the other guy I have is Kyrus Tonga. He's a big nose tackle.
Yeah.
Another older guy, like a late bloomer type. Probably like maybe 1 year for him. He's like a rotational player. He also plays a little fullback. But he's just like,
Ooh.
if you're gonna have like a rotational like big nose tackle that's really there just as like a space filler, like it's really hard to do better than what Tonga did this year. That's all because on the money downs, like you're gonna get Williams and Barmore out there, and there's even this guy I'm blanking on his name. I think it's Durden on the inside. He's like super high like PFF pass rush grade too. So like they have like sub rushers on the interior too, but Tonga's like, it's hard to do better as a rotational like space filler. So give him a new
Classic
new
space
deal.
filler, yeah.
1 year 2.3 is fine. Like if he'll take it, like slightly
Perfect.
above, more money than he's ever made for sure. Like in the league so far.
Craig Reynolds, is that the former Lion? I think. Sorry, I've got my dynasty fantasy football head on there. Just recognizing running backs. I'm sure I've rostered him at some point. But we're not.
One more. We gotta have one more serving of celery before we get to the fun free agents here. Verdarian Lowe, swing tackle. He came in and filled in for Will Campbell when he was hurt. And so they have two that are up, him and Thayer Mumford. Mumford was used more of like a sixth lineman. He was never out there by himself filling in. So you're probably gonna let him walk and then sign Lowe. And he'll keep playing this like backup left tackle role. And
1 year, 2 year.
You can go two. You can go two for
he's not so old. I realised that he's only shown his 27, so a couple of good years in him. 6, 7 a year.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I nearly did it.
There we go.
That'll get the views.
Oh yeah, number one sports podcast for middle schoolers right
here. Cool. So that's our re-signings done. Saying bye to Antonio Gibson, Dearness Johnson, Craig Reynolds, all my dynasty running back draft classes of years gone by, and we hit free agency. No George Pickens got tagged, but I think otherwise all the big names are here. Deebo Samuel says 23 million. If he gets 23 million, I will eat my hat.
Oh yeah, me too.
But where would you like to start? We want to go to a specific player, position group?
Yeah, let's get this edge taken care of real quick. Let's get a little better at the edge. We're gonna go down to Jalen from
you cut there. Was that Jalen Phillips you said?
Yeah, Jalen Phillips.
I can't believe he's so far down the list here.
It says rotation.
Very confused. He's only 27. He was absolutely fine in Philadelphia. He's been good in Miami as far as I recall, but I thought he'd be one of the big market players, and he doesn't seem to be, even on like the 101s and stuff. Greg Rosenthal, I think he's like top 20, but I don't think he's in the top 5. Anyway, all that to said means he's probably coming at a better price than I expected. So what kind of market we hitting for Jalen Phillips?
Oh yeah, let's give him like a 3-year deal. 3-year deal, maybe like eight per year there. Better player than Cleveon Chasen, like way better player. And the way I see this, the offseason playing out, like if they're both going to have like bidding wars where you're going to have to bid on, you're going to have to address the edge some way, shape, or form, right?
Yep.
And so if you're going to spend money, you might as well spend it on a better player. And they should know a lot of Jalen Phillips from all his time in Miami. Like they go against him twice a year. Elliott Wolf has been with the Patriots for, probably all of Phillips' career. So it should be, an easy for them to know like if he's going to be a good fit or not. And I think with Vrabel, as the coach, like I think they should feel comfortable taking chances on front seven guys like this, because they know he's gonna get coached up like better than he would anywhere else for sure. So I think it's a great way to press the edge and get more pressure, because that was one of the areas they really struggled, was generating pressure from the edges. They were so good up the middle with Williams and Barmore, and when they blitzed, they did okay too. But Landry was kind of like
having a legitimate edge rusher with those two DT guys is like, oh, here we go. Nice cooking with Cass. That's like really the dream, I think, because Barmore and Williams were so good last year, even with injuries and not getting 100% of the snaps. Well, I'm not going to play 100, but every game together, I was really impressed by them. Adding Jalen Phillips, I think, is a no-brainer if you get him at that kind of rate. Any other edges want to bring in rotation or?
No, that's the only edge right now. I think edge will be a place they look for in the draft too, because they aren't young there at all. Like they really don't have anyone other than Jeremiah Farms or an Elijah Ponder, who are like Like Farms is like a preseason guy, and then Ponder is someone I think they like, but he's, again, like I don't know if he's anything more than that rotational player. So they might address it again in the draft. The next place I want to go, we'll do we'll mix up a little bit. Go to deep. We'll go to tight ends. And Alec isn't gonna like this. We're gonna go for we're not gonna go for Isaiah Likely. That's he's an Everett kid, Everett, Mass, like local kid. Would love for him to be here, but we're gonna go with Charlie Kohler, just because we need to get some elite run blocking. And he's really good in gap schemes, as we saw in Baltimore. Yeah. So I think that's a tremendous fit. Also, if we can get him to play a little fullback too, I know it's not what he did a lot of in Baltimore, but the fullback play, they had Jack Westover, who is someone I'm letting walk in this exercise. He was horrible. So we need Charlie Kohler to come and maybe do a little H-back stuff. Definitely there to run block. And then we'll see in the draft we can get some dynamic tight end play from somewhere else. So we'll have, hopefully we'll have Henry, Kohler, and then, a rookie tight end that can replace Henry after. But yeah, 27 years old, like lock him up, give him like 2 or 3 years. And he can hold down the fort, like run blocking on the edge.
Absolutely. I think that's, you're saying about Alec being annoyed by it. Like we discussed it on that show. Like I like Charlie Cole. I've always wanted to get more use in Baltimore, but it is hard when Mark Andrews is such a guy in front of you. But I think this, is a really good move for everybody involved because he will get more work in New England and maybe not in fantasy, but certainly in terms of, like you say, run blocking, maybe some H-back work. I think that's a really good fit.
And before we go to defense, we can stay on the offensive side of the ball for the next one, and we're going to go to the interior offensive line. It's like, or just offensive line in general, I guess. And we cut Garrett Bradbury, right? And we're going to have Ben Brown and Jared Wilson kind of fight over who's playing center. And so I wanted to have an experienced left guard to put in between Will Campbell and Jared Wilson, or Ben Brown if Ben Brown's a center. And that's going to be Isaac Suamalo from Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
We need a veteran presence. 33.
Real solid
player. He had a great year last year, looking at the PFF grades before I came on. And, he's a guy, like, if you want Will Campbell to develop, or if your plan for the future is to move him inside, like, don't put him next to Jared Wilson again with Garrett Bradbury, not being able to block next to him either. Get a left guard that can block and is going to help those two figure out, protections and things like that. Because that was one of the problems in the Super Bowl that came out was they had a really hard time communicating to the point where they were like tipping like their slides and things like that, and tipping plays. And that's never where you want to be. So they have to do something to like settle down that left side of the offensive line. I think this goes a long way to doing that. Because like you're gonna have to pay for veterans, you're gonna have to pay for good production. So you might as well go for a guy like Suamalo, who's been around forever and is a good player.
Yep, no culture concerns at all. Always been a good soldier. Suamalo in Pittsburgh. We're going 1 year, 2 year.
Give him one. Give him one for now.
Cool. 10 million, I think, gets it done. Next best offer is Tampa Bay at 9.8. So that's him. Yep, bang. Sweet. Isaac Suamalo comes on in. I'm still got a ton, 53 million cap space, so we're nowhere near concerned about pushing anything yet.
Nope, we got one more to do. One more big free agent to do. We're going to go to linebacker for this one. And this is going to be where we add that inside linebacker depth for cutting Mapu and Muma in the cap management section. We're going to go to Leo Chenal from Kansas City. Now, one of the reason behind this, the Patriots struggle mightily with covering with linebackers. They're really good against the run. Spillane, Gibbons, Tavai, very good against the run. They cannot cover a soul in space. And one of the better linebackers in the NFL doing that is Leo Chenal. But he's also versatile enough where he can stay on the field and run downs too. And he's younger, 26, it says, I think. So it's a no-brainer. If Spillane ages out, Spillane, had injury issues last year. So, you'd hope he plays a full 17. You hope he, lasts a full season and plays longer. Like, I liked what he did, but Chenal's a guy you can sign him for, 3-4 years here, and he can lock down that middle for the rest of his career in New England by going forward and backwards. And that'll make a big difference in covering the tight ends, which they struggled with a lot.
Absolutely. And just like, it just feels like another player that Mike Vrabel's going to get his paws into and say, like, this is how we do it in New England, and might be his best years of his career to come. A player I really like as well. So 11 million a year, 3 years, perfect.
Sweet.
Happy with that so far. Then, anywhere else we want to address?
No, I think we're good with that. You know, we save some cap space to stay flexible in case that magical AJ Brown Max Crosby trade comes down the pike, right? You know, who knows? But
you don't want to spend half of it on Deebo Samuel.
No, I prefer not to. Thank you for offering.
Cool. So ready for the draft? Yeah, we are ready. We only have one pick. Unfortunately, it'd be nice to have like 7. That'd be fun. Do you just want to do first round, or you want to go first 3? I'm not sure again how deep you are into college scouting as yet. I'm very much a first 5 picks kind of guy at this point. So no shame if it's one round.
Let's go to 1 to 3. I feel comfortable doing 3 rounds for sure.
Love it.
I was trying to go 7, but then you get to like 5, 6, and I was like, I'm throwing darts. So like,
yeah, and then when you get to 6, 7, it's even worse.
Even worse.
Cool. Right. So we'll hit start. If you want to trade up, we can pause, but just give me a shout if you want to trade up anywhere.
All right.
Let's see what we have to go with. It goes pretty quick. So although we're waiting a long time in real life, we won't be waiting that long here. So good job you didn't want to trade up, because that went quicker than I expected.
Yeah. We're good.
31. Yeah. We've got 6 trade offers. Do you want to review them?
Yeah, let's take a look and see what people are doing.
So it looks like the best value is New England. We are New England, New Orleans, who are offering 42 and future second round pick next year. Not too bad. Detroit offering 50 and 57, and the Giants offering 37 and 105. So.
I was considering this until I was, I think some of these would be tantalizing, especially that New Orleans one. But we're gonna hold off on the trades, I think, because a receiver fell to us that I wasn't expecting. So I think it makes a lot of sense here at the end of the first round for them to draft Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. Really early producer at NC State. He did really well in his first 2 years at NC State, and then Texas A&M he didn't do so well, but he's early declared wide receiver. He has some good talent. He can play inside and out. And I think he will work well as kind of like the Diggs replacement, where he can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And then, you have real upside there with him. He's not, one of these. I feel like a lot of the times the Patriots have failed at drafting these wide receivers. These bigger, outside style wide receivers.
Yeah.
And these guys, they, hopefully work out. Hopefully it works out better.
Yeah, this is a guy I've only seen highlights of. Again, scouting isn't my real bag, and deep diving into the rookies isn't my bag just yet. I'll do as much as I can for Dynasty coming up, but this guy looks real exciting. I'm not sure if he'll make it to 31. I think he'll be in that range, though, because not everyone's going to love him. Dangerous punt return of 2 TDs in 2025. I love those as well. Get him and Marcus Jones in some kind of unique fake out backfield is what I not backfield. Return area is what I'm experienced. But yeah, I love this as a fit. I think the sky's the limit, especially, like you said, they've drafted rookies in the past, but I'm not sure Drake May's got quite the same ruthless attitude as Tom Brady in regards to rookies. They might get a bit more help coming along. Maybe not. We'll see. But I think that's a great swing to take. So we'll put Concepcion in there. And we're heading into the second round for the first time on our series here. So there's going to be some names that I certainly don't know. So picking at 63, Genesis Smith is a great name off the bat. Malachi Fields I've heard of as a wide receiver as well, but that doesn't mean he's good. That just means I've read his name on Dynasty blogs. Anyone you're feeling or want to have a look through positions?
Yeah, let's look at the offensive tackles. Let's see if anyone fell there.
Jennings Dunker, hell of a name.
No, not into those guys. What do we have for tight ends? All right, there we go. 73, Eli Stowers.
He blew up the combine, right?
Oh, yeah. And he's great on film. He looks great on film, too. He's so sudden, so his movements are so great. He's a former quarterback. I'm a big fan. I wish he was a little tougher at the catch point. Something I don't like about, I want my tight ends to do the basketball thing, right? Like Jimmy Graham and Antonio Gates-Sibber, it's their ball when it's in the air. That's not his game. But, he's dynamic in the middle of the field. And so, you pair him and Concepcion, and, you're talking, offensively, you get something cooking there.
You've just got a lot of
yeah.
Love it, yes. And if you have Drake May in Dynasty or Fantasy, you are rubbing your hands in glee, I think, because that is 2 big burst guys who are, I think, huge values where you got them.
yeah.
90, Mike Trigg just went. Obviously, we're not taking another tight end. 95. So again, anywhere particularly want to look at? I'm not sure if any of these names stand out. I don't know who they are, so I'm leaning on you here.
Yeah, I haven't. So so it's interesting. In my prep, like I never got KC Concepcion in the first round, and so I've always been I was going like Blake Miller every time, right, from Clemson, the offensive tackle. Yeah, click on this Isaiah World guy. Let's see. Let's check out him because I think tackle depth is going to be important as they move on. Maybe not left tackle, but right tackle for Morgan Moses, who's the elder statesman.
It says 6'5" here. It says 6'8" here. I'm not sure where he got measured, but lost 3 inches somewhere, or gained 3 inches somewhere. I'm not sure. It says he might be the top offensive lineman in the draft as well. So serious value, if so. 35-inch arms. Not that we want to make arms an issue at tackle and have that talked about all off-season and post-season, it turns out.
Yeah, we'll just balance it out, right? Will Campbell with the 31-inch arms and Isaiah World with the 35-inch arms or whatever it is.
Yes, Isaiah from right tackle is going to block on the left-hand side, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. I mean, assertive striker with agility to reach any alignment. Okay, I was joking about going from right to left, but maybe he can. Yeah. Brings fight to defenders. I always love when it's like, Cowboys drafted Tyler Booker last year, and all his things were like this, like he's going to come in and kick your ass. And it's that's what I want to hear from my offensive lineman is I don't care if he's like a good guy or good in the locker room. Is he going to whoop the guy in front of him? And is that like what he lives for? Perfect. That'll do for me.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's hit the draft button. Let's take him.
Cool. Whole new world.
Yeah.
Is that our picks for the perfect? Okay, cool. That flew by. There's also a simulate 2026 season button that's new, so we're going to press that at the end here and see how we do.
Yeah.
B, I think that's a little harsh, but
I think that's a little harsh too.
I'm not sure what more we could have done. We got rid of Stephon Diggs, which we get credit for here because we're doing it at the start of the show. Needs filled 18 out of 30. Yeah, well, we didn't have that many picks. We could have overspent in free agency and got some more wide receivers, I guess. But having Concepcion fall in our lap, I think, is really useful there. Eli Stowers the same. Got Siomalo, Chanel, and
they didn't put Charlie Kohler up there either. Yeah.
What the heck?
I know, huh?
It must be because maybe if we take out Dupree, is it gonna? No, he's just not accommodated for some reason.
Man. Yeah,
I don't know why he's not being listed there, but we did get Charlie Kohler. We know we got him. It probably has him listed as well. Just sign. Yeah, Charlie Kohler is listed. Just they think that little of him, or they're trying to keep him as a secret weapon. Either way, we got him in, and tight end room is now solid as a rock and explosive. So one of the things I was trying to do for everybody, Foz, and I kind of dropped the ball myself a bit there, fumbling more than Ramondre. All I guess I was going to ask for a hot take for either free agency, maybe even the draft, a trade that might happen. Doesn't have to be New England, can be New England. If you've got one, I would love it. If not, I can just pretend I never said it and I'll throw my own in. But do you have one for us?
I've been thinking all offseason, I was saying to you before, I think that I really hope they try to get younger and like aren't too aggressive in the draft because they need to make a lot of picks. They've missed on a lot of drafts recently. But I tell you what, with this Mekhi Lemon stuff, with his interviews not going well, if he starts slipping or if Jordan Tyson starts slipping because he didn't work out and he's been hurt a little bit, if he gets down to that like 20-ish range and you're sitting there at 31, go get one of them. Go get one of them. Like both of them are so dynamic. They're dynamic wide receivers, and that's what you need. Like, Booty's great and and everything, and he's developed, better than I thought people thought he would. Mac Hollins, I love to death. Like he's one of those guys, like I look around and I'm like, why has he been on like every team in the NFL? Like how come he
it's weird, right?
Yeah, like people get sick of his shtick, but like that must be it. But he's a gamer, like he's a baller, like he goes out, he blocks, he catches everything when it's thrown to him. Like he's not gonna
there's no like controversy with him either. Like he just seems to be like a happy camper everywhere he goes. He seems like a good locker room guy, and he produces. Like again, he's not a 1,000-yard receiver, but that isn't his role.
No, but his role, he does
really
well.
Weird.
It's just like who cares that he doesn't wear shoes and like does this the Warriors thing or whatever. Like let him be him. Like but so the wide receiver room's like decent, but one of those dynamic receivers slip because of like injury or injury with Jordan Tyson or character concerns with Lemon, like go get him. Like that's a swing you have to take if one of those two falls because the upside with either of them is gigantic. That's where you're talking like, then we'll be talking about you're going to have some problems with the cap, like, in 4 or 5 years when you have May under contract and then you get to sign them. But
good problem
yeah,
to have,
so
though.
that's the big one I would go for. If one of those two starts slipping, go up and get him in the draft.
Perfect. So before we say bye to your Foz, I want to do the Simulate 26 season. I've never seen it work before. This is a brand new button as far as I'm concerned. So let's see where we finish up. Patriots have a brutal schedule next year.
Oh, yeah.
Their over-under, I think, is 9.5. It started at 10.5, but it's been bet to 9.5 already. I'm going to say they go over after our moves here, though. Drake may still come on. So
yeah, let's see it.
Let's go.
Oh,
that's a lot of losses in a row there. What we got? Oh, that was really quick. I'll give them the due. Okay, 7-10. Below Miami. Right, okay, Mr. Stick to the model. Your site's great, but this needs some work because the Patriots,
we're gonna lose.
If they finish below Miami, I'm eating my heart twice. I'll find another heart because Devo's only getting 23 million, and the Miami Dolphins aren't going 7-10. The Patriots might go 7-10 if they have a really bad year, but they're not getting beat twice by Miami, and Miami ain't going 7-10. So Miami only win 5 games that aren't against the Patriots next year. This is. You need some work on your whatever this is, your model. Stick to the model, but we do love your site, and we have loved having you on, Foz. I'm guessing you don't see a 7-10 season with 2 losses to the Dolphins. I hope.
No, not at all. I mean, 9 is probably 9.5 is probably the perfect line. Like, I could see them winning 9 or winning 10. Like the schedule is pretty difficult, but like they're playing. They play. And that schedule's not even set in stone, right? Like the order of the game. So it depends on when did they play Kansas City? Is it early in the year when Mahomes still hurt? When did they play? Are they going to lose to JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy be up and running. We're both burying JJ. Fantastic. And they're not losing twice to Miami. I don't care if they get the Dan Marino from 1983. I just don't think it's happening. And they're not going to get Dan Marino from 1983 because that isn't how science works. So, that's maybe stick to the model as a Dolphins fan. I'm not too sure, but what we do know is the New England Patriots, whatever they say, are better next week than they are today. And they're going to smash it in the draft if they get Concepcion and Eli Stowers to fall to them. So, Foz, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for fixing your franchise. Not they really needed fixing when you've just got to a Super Bowl and you have Drake May. But I think you've made great steps to do so.
Great. Thanks so much. It was so fun. Such a great time.
Thank you. And go check out Couch Scouts. You can see Foz's work there. You can subscribe, become a member, use code FOZ for presumably some kind of discount. I'm not sure if you get a discount, you get an affiliate thumbs up from Foz. But either way, use that code, add them to your podcast feed, etc. And Foz, thanks again. Absolute pleasure. Cheers, Matt.
Cheers. Thank you.